Seems like this dent is giving problems. Let's see what happens. So this is the end of Tesla Model 3. The check is here and they are inspecting the car outside. So goodbye to Tesla Model 3. I'm giving the check because I was in debt. Given the check instead of getting a check for selling the car. And goodbye to Tesla. What a wonderful experience. They forgave our sins for this dent. ये वैसे भी vandalized था. This was vandalized. This car was vandalized, but we got saved. Yeah. Yay. Goodbye. We are no more car owners.
That's exciting, actually. Like, in America, you need a car to survive, but it's expensive and not the best for the environment.
Yeah, the only sad part is I first bought Nani a car in 2022, then bought myself a car 3 months later, and both cars are sold.
Okay. It's called. They call it a vending machine.
So this is Carvana vending machine. Let's see if our car is there.
Is that
yeah, that is Mazda.
Pink?
Yeah, I think this is the...
Wait, no.
No, this is not.
Wait, is it?
Let's see.
I don't think so.
Alright, so it's not a secret that I was trying to sell my Tesla Model 3 2022 edition from the last 3 months, and I finally did it. I not just sold my Tesla Model 3 but also Mazda that Katie owned. Or you all know that I am leaving Atlanta, US, and it's not an easy thing. You build your life in Atlanta from the last 9 years, and emptying your apartment which you have built, all the stuff you have collected over the last 9 years, it cannot be done in a week. So I spent the last 2 weeks emptying the entire apartment. Thank you all to subscribers who came through Facebook Marketplace and Instagram, collected most of my apartment, emptied it. It was amazing. Sold my stuff, and most difficult was, of course, selling my Tesla Model 3. It was emotional decision. That was the year I bought my first new car. But first, I bought a new car from my grandmother in March 2022, and then bought a new car for myself. Usse pehle I had like an old Toyota Corolla second-hand car that I was using, and I sold it, bought new car from my grandmother, then bought new car for myself in 2022. And forgetting about the emotional decision, but most importantly the financial aspect of that decision, because buying a car, irrespective of which car you buy, buying a new car is financially a bad decision. I knew it. I still took it because I was like, ki, chalo, paisa hai, I've made money from the last 2 years. Let's do it and let's get a new car. Now, this video will be entirely the financial aspect of owning a car, especially electric car Tesla, and how you can take a better decision buying a new car. First of all, like car market, which was in 2022, is completely different how it is now. Look at this Wall Street Journal article. Average American is paying up to $2,600 a year for a car insurance, which is 10% up from 2023 and 10% to 12% up again from 2024. So this is insane. Paying $2,600 for one person full coverage car insurance is extremely expensive. Forget about just car insurance. Buying an average nice car in America, average American spends $45,000 to $50,000 on a new car. Forget electric or gas car. It is extremely expensive. It is around 20% more than how much people used to pay for cars before. Like, of course, you can get Toyota Corolla for $20,000 new and sell it for $10,000 10 years later. Of course, that is still true. But talking about the cars, which is part of American dream, they are average $45,000. Now, forget about even owning a car. Right now, 1 out of 5 cars which have accidents, they are declared totaled. Total means basically you buy a new car, car insurance will give you as much money they like of that car which is broken down, even though it can be fixed, even though it has a possibility of running on the roads, but they are just discarded in some yards, sent to some yards. All you get is insurance giving you, let's say, $25,000 of a $40,000 car, and you go and buy a new car again of $40,000, which is extremely insane because average life of a car for a luxury car in America is now 5 to 7 years, which was 10 plus years in 2000s and 2010s. So currently car is a liability, but it's now a bigger liability because bigger insurance, cars are expensive. Now let me tell you about my journey. So I bought Tesla Model 3 for $65,000 for a loan of 65 months duration. So $65,000 I was paying for 65 months. I paid zero down payment, paid $0. It was 1.75% interest rate. I have made multiple videos on it. You can watch it. So Tesla Model 3, $65,000. Why? Because I got full self-driving for $12,000, which was just waste of money. I think I could have gotten a subscription, which was at the time $200 for full self-driving autopilot, and now it is $100. AI cost is going down. So that was a mistake. I did it, I accept. So let's say $12,000 is waste. So if you ignore that, the car cost will be around $53,000, subtracting the full self-driving coverage. $53,000 for Tesla Model 3 because it was a long range with 360-mile range. In these 3 years, I drove it for 33,500 miles. Went on long trips, 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles to Ohio, Washington DC. As far as I could, I wanted to drive. Average, I was driving for 10,000 to 11,000 miles per year. It was decent, you will say. An average American who leases a car, usme bhi limit on a leased car is also around $10,000. My monthly expenses on Tesla Model 3 were $1,000 per month. Car insurance I got for $450 per month. You know why? Because it had an accident in the car, not with any other car, but with wall. Uske upar there's a video, you can watch that video. After that accident, the insurance was $450, and in the beginning, after the accident, it was up to $600 for first 6 months as well. So assuming the average of $500, I was paying $500 per month on car insurance and $1,000 for car payment, around $1,500 per month to own two cars, one electric, one non-electric. Non-electric we barely drove, but this is extremely expensive. My and Katie rent together is $1,700 in the apartment, and car expenses $1,500. It's extremely brutal. Still we did it because there was no car service fee. Car service was free because tire rotation we got from Pep Boys, it was free. So zero cost of car service. One time I got car rotation from Tesla, which was $60. Ignore that. So basically in 3 years, car service cost was $0. 3 years later, I would have got a new car service, but I sold it by then. So zero cost of car service. One time insurance claim, it was $500 deductible, but insurance increased from $250 to $500. So total expenses, I will say, of owning Tesla Model 3 was $1,500 per month for 3 years. So it is not too expensive, but it is kind of a luxury experience, kind of expensive, I'll say. And roughly, mota, the cost of owning electric car was around $1,500 per month. And in that, you should keep in mind that I was not paying for charging and not paying for gas or petrol because I had free charging in my apartment. So $100 to $150 I was saving per month on petrol and getting free charging. So it was a great deal for me because I was obsessed with Tesla, and I still am. So $1,500. Now when I sold the car, selling the car at this point, it was a rough journey, I'll say. So first of all, I put it on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I was like, let's see what's the current value. I quoted $32,000. No one replied. I quoted $28,000 because I was giving full self-driving. If someone want to figure out a way to transfer it, they can have it. So no one was interested. Then $28,000, no one was interested. Then I checked on CarMax, Carvana, and Vroom. So these three sources. CarMax gave me a quote of $22,400. Vroom gave me around same, and Carvana gave me $23,600. And including there is a car dent on my right side of the car or left side of the car. There is a car dent on the left because car was vandalized. Someone hit and ran. So somehow after the election, it was somehow hit. And anyways, so that was a car dent. I did not get it repaired. So I knew that would reduce the car value by $1,000. So I would say that if you consider car cost $53,000, excluding full self-driving, selling the car was around $23,500. So my car basically depreciated more than 50%. And that's what Wall Street Journal talks about as well. In America, car depreciation for a new car, which is average $45,000 to $50,000, is $5,000 per year. And my car depreciated around $25,000 more than $25,000 in 3 years, which is insane. Of course, there are multiple reasons you could expect, and or you could predict. So $25,000 basically depreciated. I was really shocked. But anyways, I needed to sell. I went to Carvana. Very straightforward process. I got a cashier's check. So basically, I had a debt left of $30,000. I have paid the debt of my car from the last like 36 months of ownership. So $36,000 was paid, and 29,000 of car debt was pending. So Carvana was giving you 23,000 something. So 6,000 was pending to be paid to the bank for car loan. So basically, Carvana paid $30,000 to the bank where loan was pending, and this bank will give them the car ownership, which is the registration, to Carvana, and they have the car now. So basically, this is the process, and I basically paid to sell the car. Of course, if I had kept it for 5-7 years, I would have been less sad. I would have used the car value more, and I would have been better off. But what I really learned was in this journey that car is of course a liability, but things how they were in 2022 when I bought, they were completely different. A used Tesla Model 3, which I saw on Tesla inventory, was even $60,000 plus. This is a screenshot of what I saw. I thought if I'm buying Tesla new, it is appreciating. That time there was chip shortage. So I was like, oh, Tesla is appreciating in its value. It's not a depreciating asset. Iski value badegi. And I was like, chip shortage. I was so happy. I was like, and within few months, Tesla actually became more expensive after Ukraine-Russia war. So I was like, oh wow, it's appreciating. And then chip shortage ended and it depreciated suddenly. Do you know why? There is something very important mentioned by Wall Street Journal. The cost of batteries in cars are going down. Cost of AI is going down. So full self-driving price is going down. Cost of batteries is going down. So these EV companies like Tesla, Chevrolet, or like Toyota, all the car companies which are selling electric cars will be more profitable. And all the ICE cars, basically ICE stands for not the immigration one, but internal combustion engine. So basically petrol cars, they would not be able to keep up. Petrol cars are at the level which is best they can ever be, but there is lot of innovation pending from these electric cars. Costs are going down, they will spend more, the profits they will invest in R&D, and they will be able to make those cars better and better. So what I learned was that if at that time I would have bought a used car somewhere or the other, like, waited for a few months or somewhere found a used car which has already depreciated 50%, let's say $25,000. Right now, all the people who are buying Tesla Model 3, even old, 25,000 they will buy. 5 years later or even 3 years later, if they sell it, they can still sell for $15,000-$18,000 because maximum depreciation of the car already happens from first owner to second owner. Second owner to third owner, the depreciation is less. So that would have been the best decision ever. If I leased at the time, lease costs were also 700, 800, that wouldn't have been better financial decision. But if I actually bought a second-hand car, just like I bought my first car. My first car was Toyota Corolla. So I bought it for $10,800, sold it in 2022 for $13,000 at a profit because chip shortage happened. So what I'm saying is that in the US, selling car on marketplace is extremely hard. Like I showed my Mazda, we were selling Mazda as well. I tried selling it for $2,500, $3,000. 4 to 5 people came to my house, drove the car, took it to mechanic, and then said, no, we are not interested, it has some rust, blah, blah, blah. I sold that car for $1,600. Basically, the time it takes to sell on Facebook Marketplace and how many times you keep showing to other people, give them test drive, it's very, very hard. So that's why most people just sell it to Carvana, and Carvana takes 3,000 to 4,000 profit, and they give you 6 months warranty when you buy a certified car from them. So buying from Carvana, CarMax, and selling them is totally worth it based on how much time you save. Time is money. I wasted basically 2 days like finding customers for the car, showing them. It's a waste of time. So I would say work hard and find that $2,000 through your work instead of showing your car to people on Facebook Marketplace. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned. And right now, buying a new car is a bigger liability than ever it could be. And those people who are investing in non-EVs, like buying gas cars, I'm just telling you again what Wall Street Journal said, that those cars are the best they could ever be. There is a lot of improvements to be done in EVs, they're going to continue to get better and better and better. So once you guys buy EV, let's say tomorrow there is an innovation of 5-minute charging and 200 miles, just like BYD has in China, or just like CATL batteries in China, which like you remove the battery, empty battery, and put a completely filled battery. That's mind blowing. Also, Uber did a survey on its drivers in the country. They said people want to buy electric cars, but they do not have charging infrastructure. Uber is partnering with other companies and want to invest in the US to bring more chargers so that more people can afford electric cars and finally have cheaper cost of driving in Uber for a driver, from a driver point of view. So that's the level of innovation coming. So if you are investing, as per Wall Street Journal, it could be a good investment if you buy an electric car. It would have less depreciation if you buy second-hand car, and even for the future of electric cars, it is certainly great future even after all the bills that are coming to promote coal and fossil fuels. Still, the future of electric cars is certainly great because gas cars are the best they could be, but electric cars have long wait. Okay, so quickly, two important messages for all students. If you have taken loan to come to the US, if it is in US dollars, it's worth it, even if you are an F1 visa, H1B visa, to refinance it, because many students on Reddit reported, on X reported that their interest rate dropped to less than half, less than 7%. Some people have interest rate more than 10%. They take through Prodigy Finance or other places. You can reduce it to 5 to 7% with SoFi, because with SoFi, irrespective of your visa, you can refinance immediately in just one step with the link in description below. And even if you want to open the bank account, that's completely optional. You can check out the link as well. Number two is, if you are coming to the US, if you haven't tried Mint Mobile, you have to try right now, because starting at just $15 per month, you get unlimited 5G, unlimited calling, unlimited text messages, and roaming in US, Canada as well. So what are you waiting for?
Enticing, right?
Whenever I go to India, I just add additional roaming, and it's almost my 5th year starting with Mint Mobile, and it's my favorite career provider in the US. Go check out both in the description below. So that'll be it, and I'll have the link for DCU where I got 2% interest rate, one of the best places. Subscribers recommended me to get loan from DCU because even without much credit history, I got loan at 2% interest rate 3 years ago. It was mind blowing. So check it out in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.